start with both a tape and wire grid to support the stems. You have to make each piece so that it will potentially match 15, 20, or 30 others. I essentially divide the container into thirds, creating 3 clusters of foliage that will ultimately flank the groupings of flowers and add a visual negative space. The salal may look like they're really long, but in actuality, they're going to create a base layer to support the stem. Now I'm adding the spirea, which again looks long, but because we want to be able to see it over the edges of the flowers, make sure to uncut any stems. As I begin to add the flowers, I make sure that I'm always adding them color by color, cluster by cluster, so that I'm adding the same amount of stems on both the front and the back at every different layer. Now I'm adding different color groupings so they're easier to see when you're up close to the arrangement. I'm adding the same number of roses back and forth, and I transverse the arrangement so that the same colors are seen on both the front and the back sides. Delicate blooms like helleborus, we want to stand out. So now as I add them, I'm adding them on top of the layers of the spirea. Garden roses are the same. I'm keeping them in clusters of color, projecting outwards. Now for the lisianthus and the ranunculus. If you have a hard time getting them in because the stems are softer, give it a twist and it'll slip through. I add the same number of stems back and forth, again transversing even with the delicate stems. Sometimes when you're adding delicate pieces that are going to have a lot of projection, you still need to layer them underneath the bigger clusters. Ultimately, you're wanting to be creating positive and negative spaces. So don't forget to have things come out nice and long. There are only 5 different types of blooms and 2 types of foliages in this arrangement, but there is plenty to look at all evening long.